This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13, is that it's better to endure than to lose patience. I'm going to say that one more time. It is better to endure than to lose patience. Okay? And what inspired me to do this lesson is that I just got back into town, all right, from taking my wife to Walt Disney, basically showing due benevolence, all right? My wife's a big kid, and she's into all, Walt Disney, Star Wars, and stuff like that, all right? Which is kind of cool because I don't have to worry about her going to the club, going to the bar. She's not into that, all right? So while we were there, we did a lot of walking, and she's not used to walking a lot. I am, being ex-military, and I was like, yo, you got to endure, man. If you want to enjoy, these theme parks, you got to continue. You got to continue to push. And then she looked up the word, and, it inspired me to do a lesson because, while we're in this truth, man, enduring is what we have to go through, and which endure means what? Here's a basic definition. To remain in existence, last, you see, or to bear patiently a difficult, painful, or unpleasant situation, right? In these theme parks, right? For example, you got to walk around a lot, all right? And you could tell who's out of shape and who's not, And a lot of these American Babylonians, they are out of shape, all right? They can't even walk, all right, in a 15-minute theme park, because all these theme parks are based off 15-minute walking distance, all right, from one side to another, all right, which that's a testing ground for Esau's New World Order. I actually did a lesson on that last year, okay, regarding Walt Disney's 15-minute a template, okay. Walt Disney's is a 15-minute city template. Anyway, so you could tell that a lot of them people, they couldn't last. A lot of them, all right, were what's it called? Couldn't endure the pain. Their feet were hurting. Okay, you see a lot of them going to get a motorized wheelchair. Okay, scooters. All right, people that were like, you're not handicapped. You're just out of shape, overweight. Okay, you're an embarrassment. That's what it is. But the point is that and it once again inspired me to do a lesson because in this truth of ours, we have to endure. Okay, we cannot lose patience. All right, we have to endure, and that's what Yahushua said in Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, and when you go into this word endure in the Greek, It's hypo hupomale or hypomale. Let's see how Esau pronounces it.
Strong's G 5278. Hupamano. Hupamano.
Hupameno. Okay, so it's pronounced differently than it is here, because you would think it would be hypo, but nah, it's hupameno, right? That's how Esau pronounced it, and it means what? To remain, right? To last, uh, to remain, abide, not recede or flee, right? You got a lot of people receding and fleeing from this truth, okay? Whether they're changing up the doctrine or they just left and went back into the world, okay? All right, they couldn't endure, all right, they lost patience to persevere under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in Yahweh Shai, right? And this is very important, okay, because you're going to go through trials and tribulations, okay? In fact, in the book of James, it says right here, in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 2, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, right? Meaning trials, right? Let's go to the NLT version. Dear brothers and sisters, right? This is talking to the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. When troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy, right? A&P, consider it nothing but joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you fall into various trials. You see that? Okay. 3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. You see? Okay. And that's what this truth is all about. All right. Enduring, going through, okay, misfortunes, going through, okay, difficulty. All right. Whether it be getting sick, whether it be financial problems, whether it be women problems, whether it be even fighting those wicked thoughts in your mind. All right, that's a battle, man. Okay, all right, because all right, the your worst enemy is yourself. All right. And those thoughts that come to your mind, you got to battle it, man. Okay. All right. And that's why, we have this truth, the source, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. All right. And that's why, right, you have to go to your source, all right, to get the comfort. All right. The scriptures say in what? In Psalm chapter 55, verse 22, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right. So whatever burdens you're going through that you have to endure, all right, you give it to the Lord. Okay. All right. Pray to the Lord. All right. Prayer works, man. All right. If you're in this truth, you've been in this truth for a couple of months, all right, several years, a decade plus, you should be praying continually. All right. The Lord loves it when you pray. Okay. All right. Also fasting. All right. That's another thing. All right. Fasting is very important in this truth of ours in order to endure. If you're not fasting, all right, then of course there's going to be uh, issues coming. All right. Where it's going to be what's it called? Some difficult times. All right. So fasting, prayer is a must, especially how we're getting close to getting, all right, to when all hell breaks loose, right? So Psalm 55 verse 22, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. 23, but thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful man shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Right. Okay. And the Lord's going to judge the bloody and deceitful man. Who's the bloody and deceitful man? Esau, Edom. All right. The so-called white man. All right. And that's why we got to endure. All right. And watch, because we know this devil has to bring about his new world order. Okay. with that mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Okay. And now I want to bring this scenario out. Okay. And low one, this is edifying. All right. We know this devil has his 2030 agenda. Okay. That he wants to accomplish by 2030. So the question is this: can you endure to 2030 if the Lord, okay, allows it? All right. At the end of the day, we're on the Lord's time, okay. But I'm using this as a great timeline, as a reference to bring about, okay, this question: are you able to endure, or are you going to lose patience? All right. If we have to be here till 2030, okay. Now we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit Power Yahweh Shemeshah, we say, Lord willing not. However, we understand that we're on the Lord's timeline. He's not on our timeline, because we want to get out here today. Okay. All right. I definitely don't want to be here anymore. Okay. You got, okay, predators in government. You have missing children in this filthy place. I'm trying to keep this PC. Okay. Just me thinking about it enrages me. And it makes me even more like, okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Babu Kusha, bring the pain, bring the judgment, break these people in half. Okay. These people are wicked, man. Okay. These people are okay with predators running the government. They're okay with the BS. When I was at Disney, I saw it. These people are in La La Land. Okay. They care. They don't give a damn about what's going on, as long as they can enjoy their mirth. All right, which I saw reports at how Disney's losing international customers. All right, which that's a major sign. All right, that what's it called? America's losing its tourism, because Orlando is the biggest tourism in America. Okay, when it comes to international travelers. Okay, yeah, I was looking that up just because I was noticing a lot of different languages, certain languages I didn't even recognize. Okay, certain European languages that I didn't recognize. What's it called? You even had Arabs there. Okay, certain languages that I didn't recognize. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of different languages, but the point is that these people are okay with this world. Okay, they're okay with this filth. Okay, and you see it day in and day out wherever you go. So that's why, again, are you going to be able to endure all this while we wait? Okay, for the major prophecies to come to pass. All right, like the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, or are you going to lose patience? Okay, because if you lose patience, it's a wrap. Okay, this is what the Lord said right here in Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right, the Lord's going to judge you. Okay, and you have a lot of people that fell out because they lost patience. Okay, they couldn't endure. All right, they made every excuse under the sun. All right, why they couldn't endure, why they couldn't, okay, go through the difficult times, you know. All right, so the Lord's going to judge them. Okay, because at the end of the day, you weren't a good soldier. And I'm going to end off on this, because really, all right, you're supposed to endure hardness as a good soldier. Okay, so you're going to go through difficult times. You're going to go through, all right, times where it's not pleasant. All right, and overall, all right, being here, and once you know what you know, and you know, and clearly see what this place is for. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's burdensome. But guess what, man? All right, suck it up. Deal with it. All right, and again, prayer and fasting If you can't, if you are feeling down or depressed, first of all, if you're feeling depressed, all right, then you haven't been praying, okay, and you haven't been really paying attention to what's really going on, because hey, things are moving fast pertaining to prophecy, all right. So that whole being down spirit is off, okay, all right. Okay, you should be excited when you see news like pestilence, like this Hana virus. Whether it's real or fake, it doesn't matter. Something might happen. They might do more lockdowns, all right, in particular areas throughout the world, right? Then you're seeing the energy crisis and the gas not going down. The Strait of Hormuz isn't being reopened, okay? So, yeah, man, things are happening, all right? So that's why you got to endure hardness as a good soldier. So I'm going to read this. Be strong, right? 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. Thou, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai. Right. And the Lord's given us grace. So be strong, man. All right. This is our grace period to get right with the Lord. 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Okay, and I'll bring this out in NLT so you get a better understanding. You have heard me teach things that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Okay, and this is Paul, okay, speaking to Timothy. All right, now teach these truths to other trustworthy people who will be able to pass them on to others. Right, and that's why, okay, we're only concerned with the elect. We're not concerned with with the whole nation right now, because the whole nation have, okay, the bulk of them have lost their damn minds, okay. You see it all the time. I saw it at Disney, all right, but you see it any place where Jake is at, all right. They've lost their damn minds, man. They're caught up. They're so caught up in the world, all right. It's like, damn, all right. Like, don't you have any integrity, any awareness of what's going on, okay? Jake just eating whatever they want. Okay, I saw that at Disney. Jake putting on the motherfucking Mickey Mouse ears on his head. Grown ass. Okay, Jake. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, all right, okay, this is a time to relax. But damn, all right, you don't got to put on the goddamn bunny ears. But you just know that where their mind is at, okay? I mean, mouse ears, Mickey Mouse ears. Okay, this shit is crazy. I told my wife we're not doing none of that shit. Don't buy no fucking Mickey Mouse ears. We're just going, all right, and that was it. When but you're not doing none of that shit. I had to. I was like, if you want to, because that was my agreement to her. Okay, we'll go, all right, but you're not doing that shit. Fucking putting shit on your head and none of that. And she was like, yep, I won't do that, and that's it. And it was more memory for her, because that's where her father took her to before he was killed and murdered in Jersey. But that's for another topic. Salakia for going on a tangent. Anyway, so back to this. We're only here for the elect, okay? The elect. All right? 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach, right? So when you go into this word, endure hardness, okay? It's kakapathayo, and it's what? To suffer, endure evils, hardships, troubles, right? So you're gonna suffer. That's what endure means, to suffer, going through difficult times, okay? Going through difficult situations. All right, hardships. All right, and brothers got testimonies. Okay, brothers got testimonies. All right, whether it be infirmities, whether it be financial problems, whether it be their woman, whether it be at the job, there's demons at the job. Okay, shit. Whether it be in the traffic, I can give so much testimonies where, because I have to drive to camp. Certain things I have to go through, almost getting into a car accident while because people are fucking reckless on I-95. All right, that was hardships, and having to deal and not snap and break somebody's fucking jawline because they didn't know how to drive right. I had to bite my tongue and just deal with it and just beep the horn just to give them awareness, but not take it to the level where, all right, you put yourself, okay, in harm's way, because that was the Lord testing me. Are you going to deal with some asshole on the road, okay, cutting you off, not paying attention, all right? And I that's why I was like, and I was telling brothers, I was like, yo, if the Lord gives me spiritual powers while I'm in traffic, oh, those people are cooked. Oh, I'm magnetoing their asses straight to the other side of the country, or to an ocean, meaning I'm lifting up their car with spiritual powers and I'm tossing it. That's why I said Magneto, because Magneto is known for lifting up metal, right? He's able to control metal. So anyway, that, slack for going on a tangent. Point is, we're going to go through afflicted situations, all right? Brothers have their own sufferings and own hardships, all right, that they have to deal with, all right? And that's the point of enduring. Okay, you have to endure, okay? And if you lose patience, you're going to be destroyed. So, Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. Oh, one more. In your patience possesseth your soul. That's another one. Patience, soul. Yep. You know what? This way. And you know what? Let me type it out this way. I was doing an emoji on a comment board. Your page possessive your souls. Luke 21:19. Yep. In your patience possesses ye your souls. You see that? And when you go to this word patience, it's the same word, hypmoni, which means what? All right? To patient, endure, sustaining, perseverance, steadfastness, consistent endurance. In the New Testament, the characters of man who is not swerved from deliberate purpose and is loyal to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. You see? Okay? So, yeah. So, Lord willing, is less edifying. Again, I was just inspired, just again, from telling my wife that she had to endure. She wanted to go to this theme park. She had to endure the walking. All right, and she did suck it up. She was a trooper. Me, I was like, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. We can't just be idle. So let's keep going. So yep. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Again, to the sincere Akim and Akwab that believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we have to endure. All right, don't lose patience. Okay, because you see in a lot of these fallouts losing patience. So with that, Shalom. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's sake. Lord, brothers, keep it there, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying, pray without ceasing, pray for each other, pray for the apostles, elders, we're almost out of here. As they get up in age, pray for their health and longevity. And for the futures that are watching, keep studying when you pray for Jay cover. Shalom.